Hi, I'm Annie from Made by Annie, and I'm here with Oliver Bonus to look at how we can love our clothes for longer. Our clothes have so much life in them, even ones that look like they're beyond repair. So today I'm going to show you the traditional Japanese technique of embroidery called Sashiko. Traditionally, Sashiko was used to reinforce clothes, especially in the knees and the elbows, but now Sashiko is used for beautiful embroidery, but also for small repairs. So for the basic Sashiko technique, we're just going to get some embroidery thread, or you can get Sashiko thread, but it's just a bit thicker so it shows up as it's a decorative stitch on the garment. Again, we're going to cut the end so it's nice and easy to thread. And you're just going to get a slightly thicker embroidery needle and pull that through. And then you're just going to make sure you've got enough thread for however long the area is that you're going to be decorating. So I'm just going to make sure I've got enough as we're doing 2 rows. And again, you can leave it undone for decorative effect, but just to make sure that it's secure, I'm putting a knot in the end and coming up through the wrong side of the fabric. And Sashiko means little stabs, so it's literally just weaving in and out across the area. So traditionally it's like straight lines, but you can do curves and different patterns as well. But for this, just for the basic technique, I'm going to show you straight lines, and we're just putting the needle in and out through the fabric, like so, and then pulling through. And you can be really playful with the colours here. So traditionally you would just have white on indigo, but it's quite nice, I think, to give like a rainbow effect or some colours that will bring out a print. You can get really experimental with it. And that's 1 row. So I'm actually going back through this row the other side because I want 2 of this colour. So I'm going to come up just below, turn it round and go back the other way. You can draw lines to make sure you're consistent with like the spacing, but I think it's also nice if it's a bit more freehand, like this one. Okay. So on the other side we've just got what's quite common in denim, just a little nick or hole. So I'm just going to show how you can get really fun with embroidery and cover this hole in a really lovely way. So as you can see, where there's been a tear, there's just some stray threads hanging up here. So we're just going to get some repair webbing and iron that onto the back to make it lay a bit more flat. It will look something like this. There's a sticky side and we're just going to iron that to the back of the hole there to keep it in place. So now that that's stabilised, I'm just going to draw out a little motif. So I've decided to go with a flower. We're going to try and cover that hole with the centre of the flower, and then draw the petals. So we're going to start with the petals. So I've just got a white. You secure a knot on the other side so that you can anchor the embroidery thread to the garment. And we're just going to come up from the underside. You're then going to go back in right next to the mark that you've just made. and pull the thread. So when you get near the end of pulling your thread, you're going to come back up at the end of the petal and create a loop. I'm going to go back down the other side of your loop to secure that, and that's one petal done. And you're just going to continue this all the way round. So now that we've finished the petals, we're just going to tie a little knot on the reverse so that the thread doesn't come loose. And then we're going to switch colour to the middle of the flower. So I've got a nice bright yellow, which is going to cover up most of this hole. We're going to keep it really simple. So we're going to come up on one side of the centre of the flower, and all we're going to do is keep going back and forth once you've pulled that through to the other side of the flower just to fill that middle gap. And eventually these back and forth stitches will cover the whole. And you might want to go back and forth over where the hole is, just to make sure it's extra secure, which is what I have done here. And once you've finished, you'll just tie a knot on the other end again to secure that thread. Cut it loose, and there you have your little daisy. Thank you so much for watching. We'd love to see if you use these techniques at home by tagging Oliver Bonus on Instagram.